Oh yeah, you join me inside the cabin of the 2019 Chevrolet Cruze. And
hey,
yes, right, of course. This is my wife, Christina. She's going to be helping me out with this one.
because you need my help.
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was saying, this is going to be a little different. Typically, I get press vehicles that I drive for a week and then give you my impressions. In this case, we're on vacation in Kauai. It's been great, but we needed a rental car to get around, and we chose the Chevrolet Cruze over the Nissan Sentra and Hyundai Elantra. Our other options in this intermediate size segment, even though it's the compact segment, really. Who are you fooling, rental companies? But yeah, so we're gonna see if this is a good rental car or if you should choose a different one. So that's today. Now, as you can see, I am looking the part for this rental car review. I've got my tank top on and this lovely farmer's tan that I worked so hard on for the last several months, never wearing anything but a t-shirt. And what you can't see is this scorching red mark on my legs from me not wearing enough sunscreen today. So we're feeling good, we're feeling right. We're in the vacation mode here. And I chose the Chevy Cruze over those other two simply because there are some hills here in Kauai and I wanted a little extra power. This has 157 horsepower, I believe. It's 152 or 157, I can't remember. Whereas the Sentra that they had on spec there made 124 horsepower and the Hyundai Elantra made 128 horsepower. Now, fuel economy also comes into play for a rental car. The Chevy Cruze that we have with the 1.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder gets 32 combined mpg with the 6-speed automatic. This is the LT trim, so you get the auto instead of the CVT here. The Elantra does better. It gets 35 combined mpg and the Sentra gets 32, so same as the Chevy Cruze here. So I factored out that, you know what, a little more power, maybe I'm not having to make the engine work so hard on those hills, so maybe its combined mpg would probably be about the same as the Hyundai Elantra. So I chose this one. Cargo capacity wasn't a huge deal for us because it's just the two of us. We've got the back seat, we can throw stuff in there, and then the trunk has 14.8 cubic feet of space. It's about the same as the Elantra and the Sentra. So in this case, it seemed like the Chevy Cruze was the right way to go. But how would we say the Cruze has actually treated us over the last, what, 4-5 days now that we've been driving it? We've put a lot of miles on the car. We've been practically around the whole island. We've done beaches, we've done Waimea Canyon, mountains, you name it. So what do you think?
I would say overall I've been very impressed. I would say there's a lot of leg room and headroom, so it's been comfortable to sit in as a passenger. The seat though itself is a little bit flat. It's not as structured as I would like.
A little more support.
Yeah, a little more support would be nice. But going up the canyon was
You're not going to say fun, because I know
I was about
the motion sickness that you were experiencing. I know.
20 minutes of it was fun.
Yeah.
But
I was having fun though.
Yeah,
no,
you were going fast.
Yeah, it did pretty well. The car handled fairly well. You know, it's not a performance vehicle by any stretch of the imagination, but I felt like the electronic steering rack did an admirable job giving me some sense of feedback what the front wheels were doing. The power was good. The turbo doesn't have a ton of lag, so it came on pretty early, and there was linear power. It was good. The brake pedal had a nice bite to it, good initial bite, and the pedal feel was strong, so I felt like it brought the car to a stop fairly well. And even in the rain, right?
Yeah,
in the rain,
downpouring, and it was fun.
It was stable. I felt like it was in control of its body motion. So yeah, it did quite a good job on those canyon roads. You did not, but the car did.
No, I suffered.
Yeah.
But other than that, the car, the infotainment center is really nice. It's just very user-friendly, and so I was able to figure it out faster than you, and
yes, you were.
It's just clear, easy to find your options. It plays from our Bluetooth phone, so we can play Spotify music. What else does it have?
Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Yeah, it has our 2 USB ports up here, so we can both charge our smartphones at the same time. And it also, because this is the LT model, it has 2 USB ports back here. So if we did have people join us, they'd have that covered. And I sat back there in those seats, and I had leg room and headroom to spare. So, you could bring 2 more full-size adults without any real issues.
We could just keep you back there too.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, who would drive the car, Christina? I'm the only one on the rental agreement. You didn't think that through, did you?
We'll keep you up here.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, the ride was pretty solid, right?
Yeah,
we
it was
went
very
over some
smooth.
rough stuff.
Yeah.
If you have not been to Kauai,
It's true.
then
Lots
I
of
will explain that,
potholes.
yeah, there's a ton of potholes. The roads are not very well kept. To Kauai's credit, there's not much they can do about it because there was a hurricane here recently and there's a lot of rebuilding going on. And yeah, it's just a weather-torn area, but it went over some really rough roads very easily, including a little bit of light off-roading to get to some of the hikes that we wanted to do.
Right.
It did all that without problems. I felt like we were comfortable. Me as a driver, I found a nice, comfy driving position fairly easily. The seat is multi-way adjustable, so, and the tilt and telescoping wheel is such that I'm able to have a good, stable position here, feel like I'm in control of everything. The visibility is pretty good. It's
Right.
not perfect. The only thing I really would complain about visibility-wise is the positioning of this A-pillar. And when I was going through the twisty stuff in the canyons, I was very aware of the fact that it would always seem to be right in my line of sight for the next corner. It's not a huge deal, but maybe when they try to make more sense of space in the cabin, they push the A-pillar into a point where you're seeing it all the time as a driver. That is really kind of my only complaint with the vehicle. I mean, like you said, the seats could be a little more supportive. Honestly, no other complaints.
No.
The technology is great. The ride is comfortable. Our fuel economy is better than the estimated 32. We've been getting 34 mpg. Power, like I said, is solid. Handling, solid.
Yeah.
Looks, who cares? It's a rental car. It doesn't matter at all. And yeah, I'm gonna say rental car review, Chevrolet Cruze. You passed the test. Would rent again for all of you who are looking in this intermediate/compact sedan segment. This is the way to go.